Okay, let's talk through all these golf events that you have coming up.
Gabby, I'm glad you asked. Got my calendar right here. July 17th at Red Run, and then July 31st, I have the American Golf outing for the Cancer Society.
I also have the American Cancer Society golf outing on the 31st, and also I got yours on the 18th, buddy.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there.
Whoa, boys, these are a lot of events and golf outings.
Well, you want me to miss my own golf tournament?
Gabby, they're all great cars.
I mean, this
Okay,
is...
hold on. I got this. Guys, I got this. Don't worry about it. Hold on a second.
He always...
Hey guys, thanks for coming so fast. How are ya?
Remember the guys from Randy Wise, right? Sir. The Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour.
Watch for the eye.
It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour. Some of the biggest names in Michigan sports. And some, well, not so much. Brought to you in part by Premier Security Solutions, Fairway Packing Company, and Swiss Insurance. Watch episodes at woodwardsports.com.
I played organized football. Oh, shit.
Hello? Can you hear us?
Yeah, first time I played organized football, got a hand that coach put me in the backfield, got a handoff, got smacked. I was like, I'll be Barry Sanders on the playground.
Hey, Parker, do you want to put up the like a full screen or something and get us off? Just so people know. Yeah, come back on now. Guys, I don't even know what to tell you.
Is it like an echo?
Yeah, I do hear the echo. Do you guys have an echo? Okay, either way, we'll do the show. I'm so sorry for this. I have no idea what's going on. They're trying to fix it. I can't imagine how patient you guys have been. Thank you so much. Seriously appreciate it. Everybody here is trying to fix it. There is some underlying issue that is happening. It keeps happening. It keeps recurring. And so they're running around. They're doing whatever they got to do. I feel terrible for everybody. Thank you for bearing with us. It is unacceptable, and we are trying to fix it. So we have an echo in our ears, Braylon,
exactly.
so I'm not going to put my earpiece back in. But nonetheless.
Is there echo on their end?
There is no echo on their end, only in our ears. So we'll take the earpieces out. We don't need the earpieces and all that good. So we will kind of restart the show. Tom Mazawey is out today. He is in Jersey at his niece's graduation. He and the family, he's going to go celebrate Father's Day with 96-year-old Sammy Mazawey. We are very excited that he gets to do that. Braylon Edwards, it is great to be with you, my friend. And let me tell you, we had a fantastic couple of minute conversation.
It was a great conversation.
For a couple of minutes. We'll try to recreate that a little bit more.
So yesterday, speaking of Maz, who loves 30 for 30s, I was watching Silver on War with the Dodgers and Yankees. Then I got to watching part 3 and 4 of The Luckiest Man in the World. Luckiest Man in the World is about the life of Bill Walton. So I watched all 4 parts. I mean, ESPN, they never get it wrong.
You watched all 4?
So it was 2 last week, and then it was 2 this week.
Wow.
So I watched all 4. I know everything that I need to know about Bill Walton. 2 things. One, why is special about Bill Walton 4 parts?
Yeah,
like Bill Walton.
He lived a lot of life, man.
But it's Bill Walton though. Bill Russell got 4 parts. Bill Russell deserves 4 parts. Bill Walton, 4 parts. That seems like a lot.
Was it what?
That's 4 hours of information.
I understand it.
Yeah,
but were you interested?
I was.
So that's why it was 4 parts.
Yeah, but
the amount of parts doesn't mean your impact on society.
It should though.
Well, then Bill Walton would have had 300 infinity.
The Last Dance only got 8 episodes. I mean, jeez Louise, it's
right.
Bill Walton.
Oh, man. Well, you know what? It goes to show you, if somebody can keep your interest, they will drag that thing out now as long as they can, because the more content, the more, you know what I mean? It's almost like nowadays you're just putting out a number of content. Like quantity instead of quality. That's what I'm trying to get to.
They got me. I watched all. But it was interesting. Now that I've complained a little bit, I will say this. Bill Russell was cold. Excuse me. Bill Walton was cold. Like, you look back, you think about the injuries. He was injured a lot. He was injured when he first got into the league with Portland. He was injured after they won a championship. He was injured with the Celtics. But when he was healthy, he could play. You're talking about one of the first big guys really passing. Mine is shooting the 3-ball. He kind of maybe like a Tim Duncan type player. He was cold. He stopped Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in his tracks, swept him in the '78 Western Conference Finals, and held Kareem, who at that time was averaging like 34, 36 in the playoffs every year, held him to 27 points in the playoff, the lowest he'd ever had. Like, Bill Walton was cold.
You know, one of the funny things too is, like, you can't judge a book by its cover. So
they hated his ideas in Portland,
but
they loved him.
That aside, I did not watch Luckiest Man Alive because I thought it was about Lou Gehrig.
Oh, right. When he comes to the at Yankee Philly, he says, I'm the luckiest man alive.
Yeah.
No, it's about Bill
luckiest
Walton.
man on the face of the earth.
Yeah.
So I was like, I really don't need more about Lou Gehrig.
Story of how he died at 32.
I really don't need more about Lou Gehrig, so I didn't watch because of the title.
Well, I'm here to tell you, it's not about that. It's about Bill Walton. But he was cold, man. The man could play. You know, obviously, he believed in people. He believed in civil rights. He fought against the war in Vietnam. Got arrested. A bunch of feedback. The great John Wooden. I mean, he has lived a life. He won a championship, won the NBA finals. He won the finals MVP. Was coached by John Wooden, arguably the greatest coach of all time. If you look at what he did at UCLA in the 50s through the 70s, he went on to play for Red Auerbach. You know what I'm saying? The Celtics, another guy that's considered obviously the greatest coach of all time with the Celtics. And what he did, won Sixth Man of the Year, won a title with Bird. He, like you said, he lived a hell of a life.
And still one of the guys out there that I think if you look at like old school broadcasters, whether it's Bill Walton,
Mark Jackson?
No, maybe? Not Mark J. Dick Vitale. Hell, Hubie Brown's still calling games at like 90 years old. You know what I mean?
This is true. Shoot, in case you got to go to it was NBA course that still they got in trouble and came back.
Greg Anthony.
Greg Anthony, another the man. Oh my God, he got in trouble for Marv Albert.
Yes,
Marv's been around a long time.
Oh man,
we get in trouble like cross dressing or something like that.
Yeah, like biting, like putting
lipstick on.
He's wearing bra and panties, and I think that's what it was. And then, he's like biting people. I don't know, man. Everybody's.
How do you get?
Some people got their fetishes, man.
How do you get in? But how do you get into that type of fetish, though?
I don't know. I just don't know, and nor do I even want to explore or go down that road today.
Hey, you don't want to talk about therapy,
guys. We are going to stay on track today. Okay, we're going to stay on track. So I'm going to take a break. When we come back. Are the Lions about to go on Hard Knocks once again? That is out there. I think they took my suggestion. But first, a message from Big Boy. Who's got Big Boy today? Parker Brown, baby. Big Boy.
Strawberry Fest is back today at Big Boy. Or at Big Boy. Try the classic breakfast items like some strawberry hotcakes, mouth-watering red velvet waffles. And if you're not feeling breakfast, try the strawberry bacon chicken wrap or cool off with a refreshing summer splash salad. And don't forget to grab dessert, including their Berry Delicious classic strawberry pie, deep fried vanilla Oreos, or strawberry hot fudge cake, and more at Big Boy.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner jumper. Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
All right, woodwardsports.com. YouTube, if you're following along on YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Like the show as well. Maybe not this one, but we will get you there. Ryan, Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazawey out today. Braylon, we have officially entered the dog days of summer.
Oh, shoot.
So last night was the first night. There was no NBA.
Check.
No NHL.
Check.
No NFL.
Check.
No college football.
Check.
No college basketball.
Check.
No nothing other than Major League Baseball.
No women's softball.
No women's softball. When your team sucks.
Yeah.
Like when your baseball team. This is why we were so just incredulous in trying to get the Tigers to help us get through summer a little bit.
Right.
Just help us get there a little bit. Help us kill some of this time. 84 days until the Lions and Chiefs do battle in Kansas City at Arrowhead. How in the world do you get through the next 84 days? Some of the great topics, even today, so many people can't even make it one day in sports radio or talk shows on television, internet, whatever, without doing the dumbest topics that you could possibly ever find. And this is the time of the year now. And look, well, just because the seasons end, Braylon, doesn't mean your job ends.
No, it doesn't.
You still have to fill 2 hours of content,
Yes, you
4
do.
hours of content,
Yes, you
whatever
do.
the case may be,
Right.
in trying to keep people engaged. I saw the topic on ESPN today, Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
That's an early morning show.
Early morning
That's
show.
An early morning show.
Do you let your dog sleep in bed with you or not? Call the show 888. You know what I mean?
That's real.
It's like, but like that's
you?
the no. I mean, I got a little dog. It's fine.
But you do not. But when they were younger, when it was a puppy, did it sleep in the bed?
Yeah,
then?
it's a little tiny dog. She could probably, but all that hair around. But either way, what I'm trying to say is that's the kind of topics you get now.
I was
and you will
interested
get.
in this thing.
You
man.
are interested.
I'm saying, ask people in the chat, man. Do you let your dog sleep in the bed? I let my dog Louie, rest in peace. It's a beautiful Rottweiler. Bought him out of a German kennel, shipped it to L.A., got him a little early in Cleveland, picked him up at the airport myself in the cargo hold at Continental. He slept in my bed until he was a year old. His big ass was in my bed till he was a year old. But it's funny you bring it up. These are the dog days of summer, and random topics. Speaking of that, did you know a Mexican politician was arrested in Texas with 93 pounds of cocaine in his car? Officials say.
Oh my! Officials say.
Officials say. So if the officials say that, means it probably was more.
A Mexican officials
That's
say.
I mean, 93 pounds of cocaine.
Oh man!
What do you
That's
do with
that? Probably ship it to the United States. Jake Wegner says, "Yes, I do let my dog sleep in bed, and she's an 80-pound pit."
See?
Her whole life, 14 years.
Gotta love your dogs, people.
Python Knight says, I allow my dogs to sleep on my bed, and they are not small.
Here's another good way to ask this question. The people that do you have girlfriends or are you married? Is it a bunch of single guys and single women that allowing this to happen?
Jesse Adams says, Ryan would have a little dog, LOL. It's not my dog, though. It is my wife's dog. It came with the marriage. When my wife lived in Chicago, she got the dog.
Right.
And then...
so you had to keep it.
Yeah, she had the dog longer than she had me.
You know what you should have done, though? You should have... See, you're a new acquisition. You guys come together as acquisition. Yes. You should have treated it like Dion and put the dog in the transfer portal.
That's what I would have liked to have done.
Put the dog in the transfer
portal.
portal.
That's absolutely what I
You can't make this team.
Right. Guys, I do want to...
There are sports, though.
Yeah, there are sports, and there's a lot of intriguing sports talk to get to. I am fascinated by this. I think it's a wonderful idea. I absolutely co-sign this. I've been talking about it for a while. Hard Knocks has still not decided who they are going to follow this training camp. And some of the teams there's 4 teams that they could follow. The Jets are the most intriguing of the 4. I think the Bears are another team.
The Saints. And there's another battle.
I forget. Commanders.
Commanders.
So the Jets have explicitly said, now of those 4, the Jets, obviously with Aaron Rodgers, would be the team that everybody would make the most sense. Everybody would want to see that. The New York Jets have expressed
Would you watch the Bears?
No. Well, I'd watch, but like the masses, I don't think really would care.
Okay.
The Jets have expressed a vehement against. They do not want to do Hard Knocks, and HBO could make them, but that's a miserable existence for the HBO crew, the audiences. You're probably going to get bad television because they will probably be jerks about where you can go and where you can't go. So it is floated out there now, apparently, according to the Detroit News, and this is a tweet from our good friend Dove. I did not see this on the Detroit News, but he is attributing this to the news. that NFL Films did, in fact, reach out to the Detroit Lions to do Hard Knocks for a second consecutive season. The NFL is struggling to find a team willing to do Hard Knocks this season. And there's the tweet. They can force the Jets, Saints, Commanders, Bears to do it, but they are facing resistance from all of those teams. And again, I think this is a slam dunk. The Detroit Lions, America's team. The Detroit Lions are America's team. That is why they are playing the Kansas City Chiefs in Week 1. I think it really helped this franchise, how people view the Detroit Lions, how people view the culture in Detroit. It gives people an upfront, close, personal look at to who the Detroit Lions are, Braylon Edwards, and I'll tell you, they absolutely should do it.
The Chicago Bears do not want to do Hard Knocks because they don't know who their quarterback really is. They don't know if Justin Fields or what they paid for in this past offseason is going to be what they need to go on. The Saints don't want to do it because they're still in disarray. They picked up Derek Carr. Is Derek Carr the guy that's going to win them Super Bowls? Is Derek Carr going to be the guy for them? Their defense really wasn't good last year. They're still trying to figure out. Michael Thomas is still on the team. A lot of behind-the-scenes things there. The New York Jets, Aaron Rodgers doesn't want to be all that. Like, Aaron Rodgers wants to be private. They want to work their thing out. He want all the things that he's doing now, working extra with the receivers, working with Zach Wilson, watching film, having a good time. He wants that to be private. He wants to get into the season as best he can. The NFL and the Detroit Lions benefit most by the Detroit Lions being back on Hard Knocks. The Detroit Lions, right now, Ryan Ermanni, he said they're America's team. I won't go that far, but they're America's darling right now. I definitely would give you that. They need to build Detroit up as much as they can to make the Thursday game against Kansas City and Detroit make sense. We know why it makes sense. Detroit knows why it makes sense. Putting them on there again, the other reason why Detroit benefits and why I don't think it will bother them as much as other teams, we've seen Detroit at their core. We know who the players are. The players know each other's are. They rock with each other. The owner, the GM, the coach, all on the same page. All on the same page. They're not hiding anything from the cameras. That's another reason why I think the Detroit Lions will accept. They're not teams that are trying to hide one conversation, like the Buffalo Bills trying to keep things silent. You know everything about Detroit Lions.
That is beautiful, Braylon, because the Detroit Lions are not trying to hide anything. They have nothing to hide. They know exactly who they are, and they will allow you to see exactly who they are as an organization. Look, there's a stink attached to the Detroit Lions. There's a stench. And that stench is a culture of losing.
1957.
I was watching, it was I think 2 Sundays ago, Braylon, on ABC this week, the Sunday program with George Stephanopoulos.
Yep.
There was a panelist on there talking about some culture of losing.
Did we catch a random stray?
Yeah, some culture of losing politically.
Right.
And you know what the guy said?
It's like losing.
It's like the Detroit Lions thinking and this is on a Sunday morning political talk show. And I'm thinking to myself, this organization has resembled one thing over the course of 60 years, and the L and Lions has stood for losses, losing. And over the last 10 months, and that's really all it's been.
Yeah.
It's not even been a full year, right? I mean,
less than that, really.
Less than that, really.
Yeah.
Over the last 10 months, this organization has completely turned it around.
It's like November till now.
Let people continue to see who you are. Yeah. And I think just as a pure television show, I think it'd be great for HBO, and I think it would be great for the Detroit Lions to, again, give people a sneak peek and let generations of football fans see that it is different here. These are new Lions. This is a new organization, and that L anymore does not stand for losing. It stands for the freaking Detroit Lions. Yeah. Where the division championship and an NFC championship and a Super Bowl appearance is the goal.
Yeah, it definitely is the goal, and it is an attainable goal as of right now. I agree with you 100%, Ryan Ermanni. Let the people see who are you. Let the people keep seeing who you are. They're America's darling right now. everybody loves the comeback story, or not, well, I guess the never been story, but everybody likes the comeuppance. Everybody loves the Denver Nuggets. The Denver Nuggets won the championship for the first time. Everybody was cheering. Everybody was involved. I had nothing against the Miami Heat, but at some point, Ryan and Hermanni, it just was like, come on, Nuggets, you got this. This is fun to watch. The Detroit Lions are that in the NFL, and it's going to be funny. The top 10 today, because it is top 10 Thursday, we will be talking about franchises that are next in line to win their first title all across the four sports. But let them see who you are. Let them grow with you. You know, you watch Jared Goff and his girlfriend last year on Hard Knocks. They're engaged now. They might be married by next time. You know, you at that level. You got the rookie, Jahmyr Gibbs, and another situation where the Lions move up to get a guy that you didn't think they would get. You keep adding that to the story. We've interviewed Cam Sutton. We've interviewed James Houston. You don't think those guys and their stories wouldn't be great marketing points on there? Plus, it's the NFL wanting to build up the Detroit Lions in the city that's coming back. I was at the Grand Prix 3 weeks ago. It looked amazing downtown Detroit. So I think it would be great for all parties involved.
Just a couple of chats in here. Rod Wood shot it down already. I've not seen that, Vincent Law. I've not seen that. The story about Rod Wood shooting it down.
Oh.
I've not seen that. So until I see it, maybe I could be wrong. I don't know. No, that stink goes back to Bobby Lane and how we tossed him away for peanuts. The NFL would love if the Detroit Lions do it again because the draft is coming to Detroit as well. Some good comments there. Bro, Stephanopoulos is a joke. However you feel about any. I am
the fact that he mentioned it.
Well, yeah, right. But what I'm saying, right? Either way, however you feel about anybody, I record all of those Sunday talk shows because it's part of what keeps me abreast on what goes on politically for my other job, so I can have knowledge of that. I watch everything: CNN, Fox, MSNBC. CNBC, Fox Business. I watch it all, and I am aware of everything.
Yeah, so if you don't watch those shows, you can do like me, and when they say names like George Galapagos, you can just act like, oh, sure, yes, I am familiar with his work.
Right,
George
so I just wanted to put that out. I also want to put this out. The direction of the NFC North, Braylon Edwards. There is some talk surrounding Kirk Cousins and what the Minnesota Vikings are trying to do. We'll get to that next.
Does he still have a job?
What does that mean for the Detroit Lions? I'm curious your take on that. But first, a message from Outdoor Equipment Company. Your childhood may be over, but playtime is not. Outdoor Equipment Company is your source for outdoor power equipment, sales, service, parts. They've got you covered, carrying the top brands such as Bad Boy, LS Tractor, Steel, and more. Servicing the Great Lakes region with locations in Metro Detroit and Greater Lansing. For more information, you see the website right up top there, OutdoorEquipCo.com. OutdoorEquipCo.com, your power equipment playground.
Tongue twister.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Hey, gang, let me tell you about Guardian Alarm. They're your local security experts and have been for over 90 years. When you see this black and yellow sign out in front of your house, it tells the bad guys one thing.
Stay out.
Whether you are at home or on the road, they're 24/7 professional monitoring, customized solutions from real experts, and technology backed by people means that you are backed by the best. Call this number right here, 1-800.
Stay out.
That number again, 1-800.
Stay out.
Call them today. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you.
Stay out. Yo, Ryan, it's funny. What's going on? How you doing? Welcome back, Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Maz isn't here, but we send him his best. Tommy Maz, celebrating Father's Day with Sammy Maz. Ryan, it's funny when you kind of look at teams sometimes, you think you kind of peg them and you know. So we're just watching the Nuggets float, or their parade was today.
Did Jokic show up?
Of course he did.
Oh, okay.
Of course
he wanted to go back home.
But he's beelining to the jet to get to Serbia. But I just, you know how like lately, like the theme at these parades is the stars just getting obliterated. Mm-hmm. Tom Brady, I mean, he couldn't even walk, and he had COVID during that, by the way. Mm-hmm. But no, you saw Patrick Mahomes had a good time with Kelsey. The Kelsey brothers as a whole. Was it J.R. Smith took his shirt off?
Yep.
I just knew that Denver was just gonna be like just real chill. I figured they'd just have some cigars, maybe you see him drink a beer or something. And God, I'm right. You look at that on the screen. Nobody's partying. Nobody's going overboard. They're just laid back, hippie chill vibes.
Still all business, no doubt about it. Braylon, I kind of wanted to stick with the NFC North, by the way. The Lions have officially signed, by the way, their second-round pick, Sam Laporta, to a deal.
Deets.
Yep. No details on that, but they have signed draft pick tight end Sam Laporta officially. No, those are all slotted now anyway. I mean, if you can't get a deal done, shame on you, right? I mean,
true.
Just
it's good that they do that nowadays.
Absolutely.
You get money in the pocket. So you get money in the pocket faster, and also, man, you establish that respect. You establish that, hey, we're trying to get you paid, get you taken care of, man. Show you that you are a priority. So I'm glad the NFL does it as opposed to back in the day. You don't get deals done until August.
Right, exactly. Braylon, I saw this over the last 24 hours, and I wanted to get your take on it, and it's that Kirk Cousins is not expecting to have his contract extended beyond this season. It's from Ari Meirov. Vikings quarterback Kirk Cousins confirmed that he doesn't expect to have further contract extension talks this offseason, meaning he'll play out the final year of his deal, and then he will become an unrestricted free agent next year and probably get paid again, but he will probably not be in Minnesota beyond this year. He cannot be franchise tagged. That is part of his contract, that he cannot be tagged, so he will be an unrestricted free agent and probably be out of Minnesota. I say that because of this. The Detroit Lions now have an opportunity. You've got Aaron Rodgers out of Green Bay. You've got Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings have lost 7 starters this year.
Yeah.
They seem to be organically tanking a little bit.
Right.
Like we say, not maybe as the Tampa Bay Bucks are with Baker Mayfield, but it appears that the Vikings are tanking.
Isn't it crazy that this is coming off of a 13-4 season?
Yeah.
Like sometimes sports is wild, man.
Yeah.
I remember Marty Schottenheimer going 14-2 and getting fired.
Right.
Sports is a weird place.
It is. And I say that because you're going to have Jordan Love in Green Bay. The Minnesota Vikings are on the decline. I think that's fair to say. The Chicago Bears, there's a ton of question marks still. The Detroit Lions not only should win this division this year, but Bray, this thing is set up for a run. Like, I'm talking about unlike anything we've ever seen in the Super Bowl era here in Detroit. Even in the 90s, when you made the playoffs in 91, then again in 93, then again in 95, then again in 97.
Every other year,
It was like every other year, and wild cards and stuff like this. This appears to be something that is sustainable, and the Lions division now for the next handful of years at least.
Funny thing you say, you mentioned Jordan Love just now, and that I just saw him on TV today. This is the first time I've ever seen what he looks like. Like, he's been so buried.
You have no idea what he looks like.
He's so buried. He's been so buried in Green Bay and behind Aaron Rodgers. I didn't even know what the guy looked like. So it was funny to see that. But Ryan, you're absolutely right. And I think you kind of answered another question that we've been asking, that we've talked about on the show over and over and over and over again. Jared Goff's your quarterback then.
Mm-hmm.
If that's the case, then Jared Goff is your quarterback. You're talking about a team in Green Bay. I think Green Bay is going to be the last place team in this division this year. I think Chicago will be better than them. Not saying by much, not saying that makes Chicago a good team. Green Bay is going to backslide. I do not believe in Jordan Love. I do not believe that team is good. They still got questions on that offensive line. That team's not going to be nearly as good as people think. So they won't be good for a couple of years, Ryan, like you said. Minnesota Vikings, they're going to Minnesota Vikings, not to mention you get rid of Dalvin Cook, a guy that's rushed for over 1,000 yards. 4 out of his 7 years, and 2 of those years were injury years. You get rid of him. You got Justin Jefferson. Kirk Cousins cannot win on prime time. It is as clear as simple as that. That's why they're removing him, or that's why they're not extending him. People will bring Kirk Cousins in. He'll throw for 5,000. He'll throw for 4,800. He'll throw for 34 touchdowns, about 10 interceptions. But he's not going to win the big game. He's not going to win past 4 o'clock is the running joke. Jared Goff's your answer, and the Lions could go on and run. They're building this thing organically. They're setting the pieces. They built the foundation. This could be a thing for a minute. Make it very interesting.
Let me ask you a question here. Let me throw out the phone number. JB, can we put out the phone number here? We good to do that? I'm going to try to do that. Call the show 313-552-6322. I do not have the screen in front of me, so I'll bear with me. Just JB, maybe raise your hand, tell me who's on the air, all that good stuff if we get it. The number 313-552-6322. What the hell, Braylon? Let's open up the phone lines and see how.
Let's have some fun.
Let's have some fun. Let's see how confident people are in the Detroit Lions maybe going on a little bit of a run here. I still have that echo in my ear, and which is fine. When we get a caller or two on the air, maybe it will change. But until then, I'll keep the earpiece out. But again, 313-552-6322. Are the Lions about to go not only on a 1-year run, but on an elongated run in the NFC North?
And this is why I agree with you, and this is why I think it could be a nice long run. They're building everything at the same time, Ryan and Mine. They're building the coach. This is Dan Campbell's 3rd year in the league. He got better from year 1 to year 2. We expect him to get better from year 2 to year 3. You look at Brad Holmes. Brad Holmes, I don't want to say he can't miss, but damn sure can't miss. The mad scientist, shout out to Brad Holmes. He was a very, very nice gentleman. Got a chance to hang out with him a little bit at Calvin Johnson's outing. Talked about, he said he likes the show, by the way. Says he hears the takes. He said he gets the clips. He said he doesn't get a chance to see whole shows, but he watches clips here and there. So shout out to Brad Holmes and what they're doing. I actually talk about that for a second. Looks like Calvin and the Lions thing is going to come around. Looks like Calvin and the Lions thing is going to come around. He had his camp this past weekend on Sunday at the Lions facility. That was a great step. I think Disner is the guy that's really been influential in that relationship, so it looks really good with Calvin and the Detroit Lions. But getting back to that, Brad Holmes almost can't miss. I mean, you look at the players that got better since they've been here, and late in the seasons, their rookie year the first year, rookie year the second year. You look at what they did last year, last 10 games, that stretch. But also look at what the offense and Ben Johnson were able to build in the beginning of last season. Look at how the line has played. Guys have gone down. Guys have stepped in. The Detroit Lions are building that culture. Guys wanted to come here. That's another piece. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, the number 2 free agent on the market, wanted to come here. Cam Sutton was elated to come here. This is going to be and you wait to see what Emmanuel Mosley is going to be later in the season once he comes back from his ACL. Jamison Williams, had heard good things about that, conversations. Jamison Williams said everything is going well. He's taking those next steps, taking those next strides. There's no concern about Jamison Williams is the words that he chose to use. So this is a thing that is building in the right way. You got young guys. That's the last key piece. You talk about all the time. Got to have young guys on that roster. You got to have a couple mixed veterans. Jared Goff seems to be a damn good veteran. And the young guys that they got, Kirby Joseph, Aiden Hutchinson, Jahmyr Gibbs, can't wait to see who he can do, Jameson Williams. This is going to be fun. And, I can't forget the captain, Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Parker, before I come to you, I want to read some comments. Paul Thomas says, Ryan, read some comments. So I'll read your comments. I appreciate you guys, everybody in the chat, and I appreciate everybody sticking with us through the audio problems for the first 5-6 minutes of the show. So, Paul, this is for you. Steve O'Baby says, you know what, I had confidence in the Detroit Lions for 31 years, and they disappointed me. Timothy says, 2 Super Bowls in the next... what does Timothy say? 2 Super Bowls next 5 years. Why not? HUMP, Holmes, Campbell building depth throughout this organization. This is not SOL. That's from Vincent Law.
He's right about that depth. Depth is a key. Depth is key.
That's right. Mama Plater says, don't take Rod's call. We are not taking Rod's call. I do not want to hear from Rod.
You know who that is. That's my mom.
I know. That's why I said Mama Plater.
that's my dude.
Is Calvin's thing still an issue? I think there is some friction there. Yes, I do.
It's friction there, but the good thing about it is It's conversation now. They're moving towards the right thing. Calvin Johnson has been cited multiple times inside the walls of Allen Park. Calvin wouldn't go anywhere near Allen Park. He only went to the Hall of Fame induction at that time. He's been back to games since. The movement is the conversation. The conversation appears to have Calvin feeling a certain way and has the Detroit Lions feel a certain way as well. So, yes, there's still something there, but the conversation is going. You got to have conversation to move any needle.
All right, JB, what do you got?
Are you sure you don't want to take Rod's call? Because Rod is on hold for you guys.
Who's Rod?
Rod's been a jerk in the chat.
You want?
Yeah, let's see what Rod has to say. Mama said no.
Mama said
we're not taking Rod's call.
Mama said no.
Mama said no.
Mama, hey, his mama called him Clay. I'm gonna call him Clay.
All right, no, we're not taking Rod. Sorry, Rod. You're out.
He's being a jerk?
Yeah, he's being a jerk in the chat.
What is he saying?
He's a jerk. I don't know. I can't follow.
What is he saying, Parker?
I've only
3 things in the chat over and over again.
What is that?
This is why we need Maz. Maz keeps up on that chat. I'm doing the best I can, trying to listen to you talk, come up with my own thoughts, think about what we're doing next, read the chat.
Are you saying you're doing too much?
No, but my brain is very slow.
Are you complaining over there?
My brain is very slow. That's all.
Phil still came out?
Yeah, he did. Parker, you wanted to get in on this?
So, my opinion on the Lions this season, I think it could go either way. We get them the hard knocks on top of all the expectations we have for them. And imagine the disappointment, us as Detroit fans, and all the analysts and people that have been boosting them to this extent. What is going to happen when they maybe don't win the NFC North? Like, what's the disappointment in there? I mean, are we just going to go back to same old Lions after that?
We're not worried about them not winning the NFC North because they are going to win the NFC North, young man.
But worst case scenario.
Okay, hold on. To your point, Parker, you're absolutely right. The Lions have not done this in a very long time, so there is a realistic chance something can go wrong. It could be an injury, knock on wood. It could just be a bad game. I mean, got a couple games. It could be something at the end. It could be a screw job. Things could happen.
The Montreal screw job?
But it's not winning the NFC North so much that matters. Yes, that's what we expect to happen this year. That's what we want to happen this year. That's what we think is going to happen this year. Lions got to get in the playoffs. So if they don't win the NFC North, the silver lining is still getting in the playoffs and then having a good playoff running and playing well, kind of like the Pittsburgh Steelers did in 2006. So it's still a chance. So they're such a good team in terms of how they built. And this NFC North is a bunch of question marks, whether it's Romeo Doubs and Christian Watson. Are they going to take the next steps? Kirk Cousins, now that he's not getting extended, where's his mindset going to be this whole season? And then the Chicago Bears, it hasn't been proven that Justin Fields is a passing quarterback.
That's right.
We know he's electric. Hasn't been proven that he's a passing quarterback. Not to mention, they bought a lot of pieces and just dumped them on the field.
Right.
Just because you get great players doesn't mean they're going to be great together.
No doubt about it. Speaking of great players and great together, we believe that the University of Michigan has that. Phil Steele's college football preview came out today. We will talk about the Michigan Wolverines. We'll get there next. But first, a message from Randy Wise.
Ooh, Randy.
Man, what could be a better way to watching celebrities golf than the Randy Wise golf outing? Playing golf yourself and being treated like a celebrity, that's what. Stop at any time at a Randy Wise dealership for your chance to play golf like a celebrity. VIP transportation, free golf to one of Michigan's best tracks, and tasty treat after. Compliments a fairway packing company. Make the wise decision and get Randy Wise today for your chance to win.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media. How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Subscribe to Woodward Sports Network on YouTube. There you go, right there. I was wondering why I couldn't hear myself. I'm not plugged into I'm having all kinds of problems today. Subscribe to Woodward Sports Network on YouTube. Over 44,000 YouTube subscribers. And hit that like button for us. Let's see if we can get to over 100 likes by the end of the hour. Can we get to over 100 likes by the end of the hour?
I think so.
I think so too.
We got a good crew in the Woodward Sports chat. They always tend to support. They love and hate us at the same time, and that's why we love and hate them too.
Tom Mazawey out today. Braylon Phil Steele's college football preview is now out today.
Last year.
Yes, we did. Pretty much the holy grail for so many college football fans out there the last couple of decades. Blake Corum is one of the 5 players featured on the cover, along with Marvin Harrison Jr., Caleb Williams, one of the offensive linemen from Georgia, and an Alabama player's name
it should be Justin Milgro, the big quarterback.
I don't think it is, though.
Oh, no, that's wide receiver.
Yeah. So, either way.
I used to love this time of year.
Look at that.
I still have about 12 of them I'm on.
Look at that cover, though. You've got Michigan, Ohio State, USC, Alabama, and Georgia.
The juggernauts of college football.
That's college football, man.
The juggernauts of college football.
You know?
When you think college football, there's probably 12 teams that pop in the mind. Yeah, it's probably your Texas pops in the mind. Oklahoma, Nebraska, Tennessee, Florida State. But then there's like the elite. Like the only one there's Michigan, there's Notre Dame, there's Alabama, there's Ohio State,
Penn State. You got to throw them in there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But those are the juggernauts, though, man. It's always good to see. And when those teams are good, Ryan or Ermanni, all is right in the world. There's one team that we need to get there. I don't think it ever happened, but that would be Nebraska.
I don't know, man. They paid a lot of money for that coach Matt Rule out there. They got a lot of money out there. We'll see what they can do.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
They don't recruit in-state. There's no Nebraska player. Like for a school like Nebraska, the reason why they were so good in the Big 12, Texas players, they had the lineage, they had Tom Osborne. You can get the Texas guys. You can get some guys out of those areas in the Great Western Plains or the Great Plains, wherever. But now they're in the wrong conference. No kids from the East Coast are going to Nebraska. No kids from the Midwest are going to Nebraska. No kids from Texas are leaving to go to Nebraska when Texas is now in a SEC type country. They're in the middle of nowhere, and they don't recruit in-state.
Well, let's see. Let's give this guy Matt Rule a chance because he did get Baylor to be a top 5 team, and I'm not sure
That's in Texas, though.
You're right. I understand that, but he's got those connections, so let's see what he can do. I'm hopeful that Nebraska could come back because I think it'd be great for the Big Ten if they weren't just an automatic victory anymore.
So,
let me ask you this, though, Bray, because I think this is I heard Neil Rule talking about this the other day.
Neil.
We actually had a discussion about it off camera. Michigan, they're about as good as they've ever been. Let's say in 20 years.
Yeah.
In 20 years. About as good as they've ever been.
We would beat them.
Yeah, you probably would have.
I'm joking.
But, I mean, you talk about Edwards, Breaston, Avant. That's 3 NFL wide receivers who had,
they're cold. But their running game is the reason why they're so good. That offensive line is flawless over the last 2 years. Like that's where it starts for them.
Yes.
The running game, but the offensive line, the Maulers, and a little credit that doesn't get given. That strength and conditioning coach, he is amazing. I talked to a couple players, Mike Woodson and a couple guys. They say he's been elite. That's the difference, the offensive line and the strength and conditioning coach.
The team itself, outside of maybe your Big Ten championship winning teams in the early 2000s, the team itself is as good as they've been in 20 years.
I agree.
There is only one other thing they can do that they haven't done in this run now, and that's win a national championship. Is this season a national championship or bust season? I mean, is this season only successful if they win the national championship?
It's not a win the national championship or a bust for me, and I'll explain that. It's definitely you have to win a playoff game. Like you cannot go. I don't care about 13-0. I don't care about another win against Ohio State and getting Ryan Day fired. I'm lying. I do care about that. But you have to win a playoff game. We understand the first game against Georgia. You guys were just good enough to kind of get there. You're filling it out. You're turning into that team. Georgia, much better. They had been there before. They had lost. They had been knocking at the door. We gave you that one. Last year, you lost to a team that you were much better than, and it showed in the national championship game by how Georgia manhandled TCU. This year, you gotta win the playoff. But now, to your point about the national championship, Ryan, this may be, and I don't want to, this is not overestimation, this is true. This might be their best chance to win a national championship. This is the best team that they've had, like you said. This team might have been better than us, to be honest. In fact, they got a better record. They've done it. This team is better than us. I will give them that. They're the best teams Michigan has since 1997, coming back in terms of what they've done. The top teams in the country. Alabama's the juggernaut, right? First-year quarterback. Georgia's a juggernaut at quarterback. Georgia's a juggernaut. First-year quarterback. The juggernauts in college football, you're starting first-year quarterbacks in 2 of those spots. Clemson, first-year quarterback, is another team that's been up there over the years. You got LSU with Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams out at USC and J.J. McCarthy at Michigan. Ohio State, first-year quarterback. So you look at it from that standpoint, Ryan Ermanni, Michigan has J.J. McCarthy. He's had a full off season. He doesn't have an injury. He's not fighting against Cade McNamara. He finished the season. He beat Ohio State last year in Columbus. So he has all that going into next year. This is Michigan's best window to win the national championship because of all those factors.
Michigan, USC in the title game. I'm going to predict it right now.
I love it.
Whether they win the national championship against Caleb Williams and USC, I don't know.
And then they open up, and then they play against them next year.
Exactly. I think that would be an incredible national championship game to kick off essentially what will become
the Rose Bowl comes back.
Exactly. So Michigan, USC in the national championship game. That's what I'm predicting. To answer my original question, and I think Braylon, you give. Totally, I'm on board with you. If you look at Alabama, if you look at Georgia, if you look at Ohio State, all first-year quarterbacks. Penn State, I believe.
Penn State, Clemson.
You know what I mean? Clemson.
Yeah.
So, to answer my original question, is this a national championship or bust season? And the answer to me is no. And I'll tell you why. We talk about layoffs in every sport. A layoff in hockey, what that does. We use it as the number one excuse. We had Jim Leland on here on Monday. Yeah. And we talked about the layoff in 06 and 12. And one of the things that he talked about is the layoff. Yes, the layoff hurts in 06, and then in 12, we had another long layoff, and we tried to bring up, we tried everything. We tried everything we could possibly do to keep these guys interested, to keep these guys working. We brought up minor leaguers from Florida to play a simulated game. We went inside to Ford Field and played baseball in Ford Field. We did everything, and it's just not the same. You can't recreate, the rhythm of playing baseball on an everyday basis.
Your body knows when it's being gamed, when it's being schemed.
So if this is next year in 2024 when there is a playoff and there is a week and a half off and then you keep playing, that's one thing. My answer for you will be different in 24. But in 2023, where you're still going to have a 30-day layoff, 40-day layoff, wherever it will wind up between a 30 and a 40-day layoff, you cannot play your best football with that kind of layoff. The season ends to me in Indianapolis in the Big Ten championship game. That's when the season ends. Everything after that is gravy. Now the argument will be made, Braylon, well, the other team has to do it too. Yeah. And I understand that. I get that. And because you have two teams not at their best, there will be a winner and there will be a loser. But I guarantee you that if Michigan and TCU played the week after the Big Ten championship game, that would have been a much different result. A much different result, and I guarantee it.
With that being said, do you agree with me? Because I somewhat agree with you. I said, no, it's not make or break. It's not a championship, but do you agree with me? They have to win a playoff game?
No, I don't agree with you because of the layoff.
Ryan,
it would be nice.
Ryan, listen to me. Listen to me closely. You don't get paid top coaching dollars to go to the same spot and lose the same way every year. This is not Clemson back in the day. This ain't North Carolina. This isn't Washington. This isn't UCLA. This isn't any of those schools. This is Michigan. And now that Michigan has gotten to a space where they are the tops in the Big Ten. They own Ohio State right now. They are winning the Big Ten every year. You cannot keep going to the same spot and losing. Georgia, understandable 2 years ago. TCU last year, not understandable. A third year, I don't care if they were playing Bo Jackson or Herschel Walker. They got to at least win one game in the playoff. They don't have to win it all, Ryan, but they got to win.
It would absolutely be nice if they did. What I'm saying is, like, I go back to, even if you remember the shows that we did leading up to the Ohio State game, or just any other week, the intensity in which we came to work, the intensity of our excitement level of playing the next week, man, we were coming to work, and I feel it as a fan. We were coming to work. And we were, Michigan's playing. You know, it's that layoff sucks the living life out of you.
Yes, I understand that. But if you say if you really want to be truly elite, if you really want to play with the big boys, then you got to win games. Alabama wouldn't have been Alabama if Nick Saban kept getting to the championship, kept getting in there. Hell, what's his name? Brian Kelly. Got to the playoff twice. Got to the national championship 3 times or twice. Had to get out of there because he couldn't win. Lincoln Riley, they made it. Had to leave because he couldn't seal the deal. Kirby Smart was on the way to getting fired. And then he finally broke through. He finally won. You can't keep getting to the same spot and not winning the game. I know they don't have to win it all, but you can't keep doing the same thing. And it's okay. It's cool to get there. Ryan, you want to be elite? That's what the elite do. They win it all. They don't get there and get close. Do you agree with me out the window, though? Like, I think this is the window.
Well, absolutely.
This is the window because this is why.
I'm not saying that the window won't be extended, but this is the best team you've had in 20 years. It's not like that happens every year. It clearly hasn't happened in 20 years.
100%. The other thing, too, is just the unknown. See, Ryan, right now, the window, we know what this year is. It's going to be 4 teams at the end. We know we're the best team in the Big Ten. We know we have the best quarterback returning in the Big Ten. There's no Alabama's returning quarterback, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Also, next year, you got to start playing USC during the regular season. Then there's also 12 teams in the college football playoff. So that's why it's like that. It gets iffy. Does a player get hurt in the third playoff game? Do you guys up for this playoff game? Blah blah blah. That's why this year is the window.
Everything is lined up for Michigan to do it.
Man,
everything has. Will I be disappointed? Yes. But if Michigan goes 13-0, ends Ryan Day's reign at Ohio State, and wins a Big Ten championship, and loses in a 1-4 matchup where Michigan's 1 and USC's 4, or to USC, maybe USC drops a game this year or something, will I be disappointed? Yeah. But that's why I never paid attention to bowl games. I never cared I don't want to say care, that's not the right word.
Oh, thank you for saying
if Michigan loses an October Saturday game, I don't sleep for a week. And that's my own problem.
Right.
But if Michigan loses a bowl game, I ain't losing any sleep.
That's because it's not for anything. But when you're playing for the national title, it's different. Like, you talking about this, you talking about the playoffs? If they lose one of those, like, they had a chance to go to the national title. This is what we play for. You play to get to the national title, and you lose in the first round 2 years in a row. This would be 3 years
Just
in a row.
stop talking, because you're bringing me over to your side. Just stop talking. You're winning the argument.
Hey, but you know what? Here's something we don't have to argue on. It's top 10 Thursday, my brother.
It is Top 10 Thursday. Braylon will have it for us next. But first, a message from Fairway Packing Company. We want everybody out tomorrow. We'd love
DJ Tom,
to see
you got to come out, man. Free food is it?
Well, I mean, I don't know about free food, but they're going to be out there cooking for us.
Yeah, it's DJ Tom, man.
Right, DJ Tom, I'll feed you. But yeah, come get your Father's Day gifts too. I mean, how great would that be? Come see us. 100%. Get your Father's Day gifts. Get your Father's Day dinner. It is the best meat you could possibly get in the state of Michigan. That is why the best hotels and restaurants in our city choose Fairway Packing Company. If you're ever in Birmingham, you'll see the trucks all over at these great restaurants. In downtown Detroit, the same thing. Come to Fairway Packing Company. It's their steak shop on Mack Avenue. We're broadcasting 2 shows out there tomorrow. Big D Energy will be there from 11 to 1. We'll be out there from 2 to 4. Again, it is Fairway Packing, the steak shop on Mack Avenue in Grosse Pointe Woods. Look them up online, fairwaypacking.com, fairwaypacking.com. Sourced, cut, aged, packed to perfection.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Hey, welcome back. Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com. Again, I do want to invite everybody out tomorrow to Fairway Packing Company. We're going to be out there 11 to 1. Big D Energy. We'll be out there 2 to 4. Grab Dad a steak. Or 2, or 3, or 4, or 5.
However many that man wants, you grab that.
Absolutely. There's some great selections out there at Fairway, and we'd love to see you out there tomorrow. Braylon Edwards, it is a Top 10 Thursday. You have the floor. What are we doing today, my friend?
Thank you, my friend. I'll take it from here. You know what? With the Denver Nuggets winning the championship, their first in their 47-year existence, got me thinking, who are some franchises in pro sports, the 4 majors, that have not won the championship? Then I looked at a list. And I saw it was probably around I think it's like 17 teams, or I think it was like 17 teams that have not won. I said, who are the closest teams to winning? So the list is, who are the closest teams to winning the championship in their respective sport that have never won one?
Oh, this is a great list.
This is going to be fun.
Great topic.
Right?
Yeah, let's see.
It may be, and you tell me what you think, whatever. Parker, start with the back half, if you will. With that.
We are talking about, well, let me just get my camera up.
Did you make the graph?
So the top 10 list goes.
No, don't say it.
Did you say it? Did you make a
Did
graph?
you make the graphic?
I did not.
Oh.
Okay. So we would just, I said.
That's all right.
No, that's fine. That's all
right. We'll keep going here.
I just do it off the phone.
So there's 17 teams in the 4 major sports that have not made a championship.
Yeah, 17 teams or so throughout the 4 majors: baseball, basketball, hockey, and football. And I chose 10.
Okay.
So since actually I could do it, this is better because I get to do the big reveal at the end.
There you go. I love it.
Who's last? So Ryan Ermanni, I'll start with number 10. MLB, San Diego Padres.
Oh,
San Diego
man.
Padres have never won a championship. You know the San Diego Padres, Tony Gwynn. We beat them in 1984.
Oh, man.
Shout out to the Tigers, 1984. Padres, though, great team last year. You saw them. They were there. They had their chance, didn't get it done.
Fernando Tatis Jr.
Fernando Tatis is back this year. You get Soto, who's been there for a year.
Oh, yeah,
Manny
Juan Machado
is doing his thing.
What a lineup.
San Diego Padres, do you agree? Do you think that they are close within the next 10 years?
Absolutely. Oh, God, within the next 3 years.
All right. What do you think about that, Parker? San Diego Padres, they're close? There's not a bad one? They're 10?
I mean, you got guys like Manny Machado, Fernando Tatis Jr., Juan Soto, who potentially could be leaving this offseason. I don't know. I'd say they definitely have a good shot. I don't know if I'd put them at 1.
No, they're not 1. This is just they're 10.
They're 10.
Oh, they're 10.
Yeah. 10.
I'd probably put them at 5.
Very good.
Well,
all right. Well, let's get the list.
The list is more so. There's only one team that matters on the list, and that's number 1.
Okay.
I didn't necessarily put in order. Here we go. Number 2. Minnesota Vikings are on the list.
The Vikings at 9.
Now the Vikings. Now I know you're like, everything's falling apart. They just got rid of Dalvin Cook, Kirk Cousins. I just think it's the NFL. You have new teams in the playoffs all the time. You can build. I think they got the people that they like. Kevin O'Connell, I like them on that list.
Number 8.
Buffalo Bills.
Ooh.
Came to the AFL in 1960. It's got to happen now, though. I mean, you get Josh Allen. You got a generational talent. You got a good coach. Stephon Diggs seems to be okay. I think their team belongs on this list.
Number 7.
Matt Ishbia's Phoenix Suns. Kevin Durant fit in like glue. I mean, he was the puzzle piece for them last year. They just got to get some bench players. You saw Devin Booker play. Phoenix Suns go on this list. Phoenix Suns, you like that one, Parker?
I think Kevin Durant. I mean, Frank Vogel's a new coach. I mean, they definitely have a shot, but I mean, it's definitely questionable compared to when they had Monty Williams.
Well, at the same time, this is also, Parker, you got to understand, teams that have never won, these are the teams that are the closest.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at.
Parker, your camera is all wobbly and
I know.
janky.
That's why I'm
that
not even
stuff.
putting it on.
Yeah, okay. Number 6, Braylon Edwards.
The Jacksonville Jaguars. This is one of Maz and I teams. My brother's part of the organization with player development, so I love the Jaguars. They got a generational quarterback. You saw him last year, his first playoffs, throws 3 interceptions in the first half. He comes back to win the game, beats another generational talent in Justin Herbert. So I think with everything they built, Jaguars belong on this list. What say you, JB?
Oh, definitely Jags belong on this list with everything that they've been through, and now they're honestly on the come up. So it's nice to see the Jags on your list here.
So get some respect to Duval County.
Duval. Number 5.
And I really, you're running out of teams at this point. It's the Los Angeles Chargers.
Ooh.
Los Angeles Chargers. They acquired Kellen Moore for the Dallas Cowboys. It's going to be interesting how that works for Dak. But I just think with Justin Herbert, he's just such a great quarterback. And I think you got some defensive players. You have really good defensive players. They belong on this list. Ryan, what do you think about that one?
I like the Chargers. I do think we'll talk about it at the end here because I've got some thoughts on this already.
Memphis Grizzlies.
Number 4.
Memphis Grizzlies.
The Grizz. Oh, wow. I got lots of thoughts on this.
Ryan, it's 10 of 17. Remember, it's 10 of 17.
I got lots of thoughts.
Memphis Grizzlies, I still have them on this list. They're still a really young team. They're still good. I understand the John Moran thing is going to be a key. We have to see what Adam Silver and the NBA decides. But they got some key pieces, man, and they have enough pieces to win the championship. It's just about the off the court distraction. So they deserve to be on this list.
Number 3.
I hate that you're doing them in order because now it feels like that this is the way I slated them. But Carolina Hurricanes.
Oh, this is the way you. I thought this is the way you're slating them.
This is good.
Okay.
This is good. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. Carolina Hurricanes. You saw them in the playoffs again this year. They're always floating around. They had a chance to get to the Western Conference Finals this year. Good team, and they play hard, but they just don't seem to get it done in the pinch. But they're right there every year, so put them on the list.
Number 2.
The Tampa Bay Devil Rays, a.k.a. the Tampa Bay Rays.
Oh, wow.
Got to put the Tampa Bay Rays on there. They're another team. They start off so good in the beginning, and they always seem to not finish well. Maz would love this list. He loves the Tampa Rays as well as their development skills down there. If I hear Isak Paredes' name one more time, I'm going to lose it. Tom Mazawey. And number 1.
Oh, yeah, baby. Give it to me.
You haven't heard of him yet.
I already wrote it down.
You got him around my number 1.
The Detroit Lions.
At the straight.
Oh, man.
At the straight.
They're that close. They are that close, my friends.
They're that close.
I love it.
They're a nugget away.
I think the Lions are they're close. I would put the Rays number 1 on this list.
Yeah, I mean the way I really kind of did, I was like trying to just send trying to send it in, make sure send some ish. I was trying to make sure I had the list in.
Right.
I didn't really rank it, but yeah, I would have put the Rays number 1 on this list. Probably Phoenix Suns would be closer to in the top 5.
I see. You know, the Padres are, if you just look at the football teams,
Padres probably
just
in the top
look
5.
at the football teams. Vikings, Bills, Jags, Chargers, and Lions. I mean, would you go, Lions, Bills, Chargers, Jags,
No,
Vikings?
Jags, Chargers.
You go Jags. Okay, so Lions, Bills, Jags, Chargers.
Now, let me give you some
Lions.
other franchises out there so you can see what my choices are.
Clippers are one of them.
Yeah, they definitely are. Arizona Cardinals. And what a lot of people don't know about the Arizona Cardinals, the Cardinals franchise, I think starting in St. Louis, is the oldest or second oldest franchise in the NFL. Like, it's literally just been, continued.
Kurt Warner got them there.
No, they won't. Yes.
They didn't win it.
Yes, because Santonio Holmes caught the touchdown then. But yes, Arizona Cardinals, Los Angeles Clippers. Kawhi Leonard, Paul George. I can't trust it. I just cannot trust it for the life of me. The Minnesota Timberwolves. They're nowhere near winning a championship. Yes. Although I love watching Anthony Edwards.
And Kat.
I can't stand Kat. Like he is the epitome of
Karl Anthony Towns.
He is the epitome of a Gen Z kid. All he does is promote himself. He's a crybaby. That's why Jimmy Butler gave him buckets and then went on an interview with Rachel Nichols and talked about it.
Crybaby.
Utah Jazz. They're another team on this list, but this would have been interesting 4 years ago for them. Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert. Boo. Falcons. Hornets. The Cleveland Browns.
Ooh, the Browns. This is a tough list.
The Indiana Pacers. I already did the Los Angeles Chargers. Tennessee Titans.
Okay.
A.K.A. Houston Oilers. Brooklyn Nets. A.K.A. the Jersey Nets. Carolina Panthers. New Orleans Pelicans. Orlando Magic.
That's
Colorado,
a good list, Bray.
Rockies.
That's a good list. I love
Milwaukee Brewers.
Milwaukee Brewers. Hey, one of the teams on this list that you have are the Buffalo Bills.
Yes.
They seem to have an issue there between wide receiver and head coach. Hear what the head coach has to say about this situation. And I want to ask you a question about Stephon Diggs as well. We'll get to that next. But first, a message from Dispo.
Let me know. Yo, check this out. Went to Dispo yesterday in Romeo with my man Justin in the back. Justin with the dopest mustache there is. Shout out to Justin. Dispo was great. Riley with the Y. Yes, you heard me right. Riley with the Y and Melissa are rock stars. They gave me a tour around the facility. It was amazing. They have individual suites for different brands, such as Hi-Man, one of my favorite brands. They have all different types of strands. And it's an experience, man. Like, the people make you feel good. Like, they have so much product to choose from. They have the best quality of product as well. Dispo is the spot. And the best thing about it is they're cannabis mall, but they're all over the city. They're not just in Romeo. They are in 8 cities around Michigan, expanding to Chicago soon. So, simply put, when you want to get high, go to Dispo.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. I did have one more, actually. Parker had, and he brought up a very good one. I don't know how I went over my head. I forgot about that. Parker, which one was that?
The Cincinnati Bengals.
There
they
it
have
is.
yet to win a championship.
There should be #1.
Yes. That's why I'm surprised you didn't put him #1.
Look at this guy. Parker with
we
the
can only
stat.
remember so many teams. There's a lot of bad teams out there. A lot of bad franchises, good teams. We'll see.
When you played in the AFC North and you played against Ed Reed and James Harrison a lot, you tend to forget things, if you catch my drift.
You know what? Like, if you think about this might be like dumb and totally off topic, and we'll get to Stephon Diggs in just 1 second. Yeah. If the Detroit Lions made the Super Bowl, have you ever wondered who would be the best matchup for them? Like, who would you want to play? For instance, when the Detroit Pistons won the Eastern Conference, I wanted them to play the Lakers.
Yeah.
Right? Didn't you want them to play the Lakers? No. You didn't.
No.
When
it's Kobe and Shaq. Why the hell would I want them to play Lakers?
Well,
I didn't. Let me answer that. I didn't believe in what the Pistons were doing. I believed in what they were doing in the East, and I believed in what they were doing throughout the regular season schedule. But in terms of beating Shaq and Kobe, hell no, I didn't want to play them. Just like I didn't want to play the Mets.
Well, I wanted the Lakers because of the uniforms. I wanted the uniform out there. Pistons, Lakers.
You just want the old school. You wanted like the 80s.
For the Lions, I'm not sure. Would you want to play Patrick Mahomes end the season the way it starts? Sure. I mean,
I know
who.
I play Jets.
Jets. That's a good one.
We're just like key matches. I think would be great for the Lions.
Mm.
Well, he already has somebody that has his number in Kirby Joseph, and that'd be Aaron Rodgers. Mm. I think it's a similar story. You're talking about Robert Saleh. Dan Campbell, same time. I think it would be a great story. But I think we match up well because they play a hard-nosed brand of football. So do we. I think we match up really good against them.
That'd be a good one. Yeah. Guys, I wanted to get to this story. It's really, I feel like it's the number one story in the NFL right now over the last 24 hours. And that's the 36 hours. And that's the saga that seems to be the Buffalo Bills and everything that's happening with Stephon Diggs. He was at mandatory minicamp, then he was not practicing. Sean McDermott kind of called him out and said he's not practicing, and that is quote unquote very concerning. Here's what he had to say. This is the head coach Sean McDermott about where they are now. So Sean McDermott there talking about like this is not a problem and the player is there and he will perform and all that stuff. And that's fine. I think, Stephon, this is exactly what you don't want in your team right now. And that is the player thinks the coach sucks. And that is really that's really what happens. This dude is one of the best wide receivers in the game. Yeah. And he does not think the coach is very good. He does not think the game plan is very good. You go, you see, it's all the same plays. And when you're a player and you only get so many years at this stuff and you feel like your talent is being wasted and your team is being wasted, I can't imagine how difficult that is to be. Go to your own job. Yeah. Whatever job you have, and you see that it could be so much freaking better. But the coach sucks. The manager sucks.
This is what I said yesterday. We were talking about what happened, what was the problem, and I said that wasn't him yelling at Josh Allen. It had nothing to do with the relationship with he and Josh Allen. It's one of those things, Ryan. You're absolutely right. And let me say this first, though. I don't necessarily approve of the way in which
we're not on anymore. I don't even know what to say, everybody.
They're talking about the clip.
Are we on? I mean, I don't even know what to say.
Are people saying we're on?
Faces up here. We reading lips is not my specialty. Guys, help me out. Are we on? I just don't know. Well, Ryan says a lot of hate in the chat today, and I would hate it too. I mean, oh, you hear us. The mics are on. Okay, we are on. The clips are not on. So it's all good. I don't know what to tell you guys. I mean, it's just like, I'm so sorry, guys. I don't know what to tell you other than we'll work on it, man. It's very frustrating to be up here and to have all these audio problems. I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry, and we're going to figure it out, and if we don't, then, you guys can turn us off, and we can feel, we'll get the rat that way. But it's totally unacceptable to have all these audio problems, and I apologize to each and every one of you because you deserve better than this. You're giving us a chance here to get your sports talk from us, and the audio is unacceptable, and we appreciate it. I apologize. So we're carrying on now. And yes, I said a bad word. I'm sorry if that offends you.
It's okay. We all say bad words. We're good, Ryan. We're good. Audio is good. We do apologize about this. I know it's troubling, and I know it's hard for you guys being up there on the desk.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you now, JB.
Oh yeah, I know you don't have your thing, but yeah, I know it's hard for you being up there on the desk and everything. But we're trying our best back here to figure out everything that's going on, and we do appreciate everyone in the chat for just sticking with us and hanging on. I know it was a rough start this morning with the morning Woodward show being a little bit late, a little delayed, but we're trying to get everything back on track here. But everyone can hear you guys, and like I said, everyone says bad words from time to time. It's just getting your frustration out. You're fine.
Right. Thanks, JB. You are the man. Braylon, you were talking about the Stephon Diggs, though. We'll get back to it. Stephon Diggs is upset with the coach. He's upset with the game plan, and that is not something that you want from a Super Bowl contender, really, because that is something that can permeate the locker room.
Look, the way in which Stephon Diggs is going about handling the situation, I don't necessarily agree with it. Yes, I definitely didn't handle everything correctly when I played, but this isn't about me. This is about him. He's not handling the situation properly. But with that being said, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. When you're in this league, I'll give you an example. In 2007, Cleveland Browns Pro Bowl year, really good team, Cleveland Browns, really good season from us, but we were in the same stuff. Rob Cheszinski did not change. He did not make halftime adjustments. The 6 games we lost, we easily could have won, but he didn't make halftime adjustments, but we caught a lot of people off guard. When he came back into that next season, teams had a chance to scout us. Teams had a chance to see us on film. Teams made adjustments. Teams got better. We stunk next year. We had some of the same players, a lot of injuries. Same plays, Ryan. When you're running the same curl flats on third and 10, and you're not giving your depth, when you're running the same Badger concepts, when you're running the same big dig ends, they know. They stop it. When you're Stephon Diggs, and he's such a competitor, he just wants to win. He was brought to Buffalo. Think of Stephon Diggs as the ultimate competitor. He and his brothers are a little bit different. The brother's more chill, more laid back. He's more uptight. He's more in your face. You saw how close he was in Minnesota, the miracle play that season. He's a guy. In Minnesota, when they lost in the NFC Championship, he stayed on the field and watched the confetti. In the AFC Championship last year, or not the AFC Championship, but when they lost last year, stayed on the field. When they lost the year before that, stayed on the field. He wants to win. And when you're running the same plays week in and week out, you don't put running backs in the backfield last year. You don't go get guards last year, but you keep building up your defense. He's mad at the same things he's seen in Buffalo for the better part of 4 years. Them not getting better, and then hiring Ken Dorsey as offensive coordinator. So he's fed up, and I understand it. There just has to be a better way to handle it.
Yeah, but sometimes you need to do something out of character for
somebody
people to understand or pay attention.
Because you know what it is? Josh Allen won't do it. You can see Josh Allen in interviews. He's the good American boy. He's a great kid. He's humble. He's quiet. He doesn't, he's not the one to ruffle anyone's feathers like Derek Carr. Super nice. That's not going to get it done. Sometimes you need, it's kind of like the Key and Peele skit where you got Barack Obama, and you got his interpreter. Sometimes you need that translator to come in with the hot, and that's what Stephon Diggs is doing. He's like, look, this ain't working.
Oh, man, I love it.
But now, once again, it's the wide receiver. We're the divas.
Right.
We're the ones.
Always, right? Yeah. Always.
It's cool. We'll take the hit. But I bet you D-Hop get in there somehow they about to make something happen.
Right, no doubt. All right, guys. We'll take a break. Come right back. When we do, I wanted to continue to go around the NFL. John Gruden He's out there. Have you seen him coaching? We'll talk about it. And Najee Harris.
Oh, yeah.
Talking about the running backs. We got coaches on the hot seat.
Who's on the hot seat?
Oh, man, we'll let you know coming up first. But first, a message from Planet Fitness.
P-Fit.
Planet Fitness is committed to providing a safe and comfortable place for teens to work out for all summer long. Planet Fitness High School Summer Pass offers a solution for teenagers to stay active during the summer when school is out. Teens can register now and officially gain access to the club with registration open during the summer months through August 31st. Teens under 18 in the U.S. and under 19 in Canada must register with a parent, guardian, online, or in club. All high school summer pass participants have access to a free fitness training room for in-club certified trainers, free workouts designed specifically for high schoolers in the free Planet Fitness app, as well as workout plans available at planetfitness.com/summerpass. It's PF, where your fitness is essential.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports. We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m. You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
I want to go around the NFL a little bit here, and I'll play the role of Tom Mazawey here. I'm going to play just a couple of things that are happening, Braylon, and then give me a comment on...
You got to call me Bray. If
What
you're
did I
going to be
say?
Maz.
Oh, hey, Bray.
He call me Bray all the time.
Hey, Bray.
Come on, Bray.
Netflix rolls out the quarterback documentary. It's we know what these guys can do on the field, but what do they do off the field? Whether it's Patrick Mahomes or Kirk Cousins, it is like a documentary style where they follow these quarterbacks outside of the field. Pretty cool. I'm all in on it.
I feel like you just named like the two most boring quarterbacks in the NFL.
I don't know, man. I mean, just
Kirk
what
Cousins and
what they go
Patrick
through.
Mahomes.
I mean, I don't know. You should get a little peek.
You give me somebody worth following and I'll watch. I just gotta feel like Kirk Cousins is some vegan guy.
I would say. Okay, listen. Should we try to play the Netflix trailer? Yeah. Okay. All right. We're gonna try to play this for you. If this audio does not work, I'm leaving. I just want to say it.
Hey, I feel you.
Okay. Let's try it.
Let's go upstairs now and read, okay? Why does the NFL have so many rules against hitting quarterbacks? The quarterback throwing a pass is wide open for dangerous hits. An injury to the quarterback can sink a team's entire season.
Damn it! I'm gonna take you out here.
No, hell no. I'm good.
This is about as close as they'll ever get to seeing what it's like to be a quarterback in this league.
I dedicate my life to football. All day, all day.
I love to compete. I love the relationships that come with that. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world.
He's four. He's down. Oh, I would have gotten up. Everybody sees the game days, but they don't see the day-to-day grind.
Every season's a roller coaster.
Hey, you get one opportunity a week. Marcus will keep it and score. Let's go!
It's really nice to get him away from football and spend time with our family.
Oh my gosh, he made it the first try.
How many did y'all make?
I can do that one.
I said, wait, here I come,
just kind of a basic guy.
We call it dad style.
If ever I do go out of my shell, it seems to become a thing.
Dive in.
Let's go. This was the turducken. You get one game plan one game, and a completely different game plan the next. That's a good ass hit, though. Great play, dog.
I know what I signed up for.
You just got to be able to buckle your chin strap up.
I'm here all day. I'm here all day. I'm here all day.
My instinct has always been I'm going to be the guy to make the play. And I think that kind of gets me in trouble.
Let's go out there and find a way to drag our ass across the finish line.
Mahomes is in trouble, scrambling to his right. Gets off the hit, and now fires it late.
I'm like that.
What do you think, Bray?
Everything is always about the quarterback. The awards are about the quarterback. The conversation is about the quarterback. Netflix is about the quarterback.
The money is about the
money
quarterback.
Well, hold on. She was getting paid now, too, so I'm going to shut up on that one. They finally conceded on that one. I just wish they would mix it up sometime. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe one year Aaron Donald won the MVP. Maybe one of the people on this show. Maybe just call the NFL. And maybe do one quarterback, maybe one defensive end, and maybe one offensive linebacker. Try something new. There are a lot of very interesting individuals out there. I wish it would just be an NFL, like behind the scenes or whatever the concept is for this, but just maybe 3 positions or 5 players, 5 positions, because I mean there are a lot of positions out there. Or just find 3 of like the most interesting people. Like, give you an example. Pat McAfee didn't just become interesting. Pat McAfee was very interesting as a kicker. Like, he was doing onside without being told to. He was smacking guys. He's always been interesting. I wish it would be a couple different positions. And it's interesting. Von Miller is hella interesting. Odell Beckham is a guy, you know, just.
Well, just to start, though,
or
too,
some
right?
new people.
I mean, maybe you could have a series now. Next year, it could be running back. You know what I mean? Or you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, you could just be a series. You got to start somewhere.
I just wish it was parallel, because I feel like when you show 3 quarterbacks, now you're kind of like comparing the quarterbacks. You're looking to see who's preparing better versus just and it's like the same story. Like, they're married, all 3 of them married, all 3 of them have kids, they have a family, so they're going to show you studying film in the basement by themselves. They're going to show you tucking their kids in at night. It's going to be 3 of the same stories. The only difference is one has championships, the others don't.
You would have to get approval from the NFL, though, too, to get that kind of access in meeting rooms. Right. And
how do you get that access?
Well, that's what I'm saying. So I don't. Maybe they're not going to let some single guy that's going to the club be followed around all the time.
Okay,
they want the married guy,
but there's some good guys. There's good guys out there, like Austin Eckler.
Yeah, Austin Eckler.
I knew you were going to do that. Austin Eckler. Austin Eckler's a guy. He's a gym rat. He's holistic. He started some gaming. The thing that he has going on. He's a guy that's a good guy. He won't be a guy that quote unquote get you in trouble with a camera following you.
Oh my God.
It's interesting.
That's right. Hey, how about Najee Harris? Running back, man. These running backs are getting blasted, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the running back position is pretty damn important position. Parker, throw it up for me. Najee Harris. Here it is. The position is an art to me. It's almost as if you're a queen in chess. For them to say a position is not as valued, it's kind of crazy. That was Najee Harris, a quote from him. And
I would have chose a different chess piece.
You would have.
I wouldn't have said queen.
King me.
I wouldn't have said queen.
I don't know.
because the queen is more important than the king, too.
I don't know much about that.
I would have said bishop or knight. It was a joke.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say queen.
You're a lot smarter than me because, man, I'll play checkers. I can't play chess.
Hey, it's checkers. Psych, said nobody. It sucks, but you know what? This is the wave, Ryan. It happens in every sport. Somewhere along the line, a position gets moved down the line where it's no longer needed. Think of the 80s. Think of the 90s in the NBA. What was the position from the dawn of the NBA till I don't know, 2000 Nikola Jokic, maybe Giannis. Centers ran the NBA. Now they don't. You don't have centers anymore. They got moved out the way to the point guards, to the small forwards. Jordan started that. It happens like that. The pitchers back in the day, pitchers were pitching whole games. Nolan Ryan has a ton of whole games pitched. Guys were pitching at least to the 7th. Nowadays, the bullpen is more important. Running back just happens to be that position now where you don't need it as much. You can find ways because everybody's throwing the ball. The quarterbacks are protected more, which means now you got guys like Andy Reid, Nick Sirianni creating these amazing plays where you're using running backs that really play wide receiver in college or a little bit of hybrid of Burke. Aaron Jones wasn't even a running back in college. So I think you don't need, to a certain extent, that position. But you still, certain teams use the running back and it works. But teams are getting more and more away from it. And it sucks because Najee's right. It is an art to being a running back. I mean, how many times have you found yourself looking at Barry Sanders highlights, or LaDainian Tomlinson highlights, or I think his name, Adrian Peterson, excuse me, that's the name that was stuck in my head. But just all these great running backs in different styles and what they were able to do with offensive line, or in Barry's case, no offensive line. So it is an art form, but it's just evolving. Teams are going 5-6 wide.
John Gruden back on the coaching field and coaches on the hot seat. We'll get to it next, but first a message from Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk into any Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically enter for your chance to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice, courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. That's right, 2 cars, one for you, one for your wife, your girlfriend, your best bud, your son, your daughter, whoever you want to give it to. Lady Jane's, it's open 7 days a week. It's a wicked awesome.
Wicked awesome.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer. How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Welcome back, Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com. Hit that like button for us if you are watching on YouTube. Hey, Bray, I wanted to get to this because I saw this video on Twitter. Here is, it was tweeted out by ML Football, and it's John Gruden on the field. It looks like it's just like some random high school in Tampa. Do you have that video? Is it audio? Okay. Here's John Gruden on the field. I don't know who he's with, but he's with a group of guys coaching him.
Okay, let's see.
This is what you want. Bump and run coverage from the best they got. Make them go in, out, and in. I'm going to push up the field. I'm going to yell, man, 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 man. I like it, Todd. We got a 12 to 14 yard, we call it a basic cross. Zone, zone. Man, man. Buzz the flat, take away James. He might fall back. So now you, my friend, are going to run a China route. Just run it right. Boom! You're going to come back in here out of China. Points to the ground, you're running a one-step slant. Break off that.
There you go. You just go ahead, whatever you think.
Familiar with the facility. I've worked out there a couple times. Actually, with Mike Williams, randomly enough, formerly Detroit Lions, USC. Speaking of Michigan versus USC, I don't know who that is. I'm trying to figure it out. His routes are kind of okay. He looks a little stiff. But I'm trying to figure out who the hell that was throwing the ball. Because I feel like whoever he's
probably
there working,
Derek Carr.
Yeah, exactly. Whoever he's there working with, it's got to be Derek Carr. Because that ball was coming out on the rope. Because I thought we were focusing in on the receiver at first.
That's so funny, dude. I didn't even notice the ball.
Yeah, that tells you I watched a lot of film. So I'm watching, I'm like, this guy kind of, and then the ball, I'm like, whoa, that's a quarterback pass. It looks and sounds a lot different, and it's in a good spot. So that's him coaching Derek Carr. Hey, look, he might be a lot of things. But one thing he is as well, he's a damn good coach. He knows the game. He knows how to coach the game. Yeah, he got one chip and got up out of there, and things didn't necessarily work when he came back. But he knows the game. He told Colin Cowherd, speaking of, us like watching the show, Colin said it. He told Colin that Patrick Mahomes was going to be the quarterback way before Patrick Mahomes got drafted. Told him he was going to be like that and told him he would be the greatest quarterback of all time, and kind of explained why he felt that. He can point out quarterbacks and he can see. That's why that show was so great. Like when he went to ESPN and they would do the quarterback class, like before the draft or even during Monday Night Football, he knows his stuff when it comes to quarterbacks. Maz, man, he may have pulled me into that Saints pick because I wanted to pick Carolina. But Maz might have pulled me into the Saints, especially with John Gruden working with Derek Carr.
Is there any chance he has any role in the NFL or in broadcasting anymore?
Yeah.
Yeah,
100%. This is America. This is America, man. There will always be a space. I mean, how many times did Billy Martin fire? I mean, how many times did Steinbrenner fire Billy Martin and bring him back? John Gruden, for what he brings to the game, for what he will bring to ESPN or bring to Fox, he may go to Fox. He may go somewhere else. Somebody will hire him because he's damn good at his job and he brings a presence.
Right.
He's Chucky.
Yeah, he is. He was obviously fired for the private emails that were seemingly private that had racial undertones in them against
misogynists.
DeMaurice Smith, the NFL Players Association president, and
sexist, misogynist, homophobic. Go down the line.
All of it. I don't know about the homophobic.
Well, he was talking about Jeff Fisher and having to draft Michael Sam.
Oh, yeah, all that.
Don't worry, I got it all stored in my database.
Yeah, and Ken Brown, our good friend Ken Brown in the chat, says he's working with Carson Wentz. Don't know if that's him, but he is working with Carson Wentz too. He is also working with Derek Carr and the New Orleans Saints because there's a connection of Dennis Allen, the head coach of the Saints now, with Derek Carr and, of course, John Gruden.
Why would you not work with Chucky? I mean, you look at what he did for Rich Gannon. Rich Gannon is a guy that's a pretty good NFL quarterback. He's a starter, but he's probably a tier 3, maybe tier 2. He turned Rich Gannon into an MVP quarterback. Look at what he did when he went to Tampa. Brad Johnson. Brad Johnson's a good quarterback. Much like Rich Gannon, tier 3, maybe tier 2 certain seasons. Look at what he did with him on that run with Keyshawn Johnson, Keenan McCardle, and Joe Jurevich. He was a damn good quarterback. Made All-Pro that year. He knows the quarterback position more than any other. If I was a quarterback, if I was a guy like Lamar, hey, Chuck, are you available?
And obviously, in today's day and age, you don't need a logo behind you. You can just do your own.
Yeah.
If he wants to get out there and do a podcast or whatever, you do your own. There's
Twitter, social media connects you to anybody you want to connect to.
Absolutely. Coaches on the hot seat. One name you won't see on this list is Dan Campbell, thankfully, so we don't have to do that in this area.
First season for that.
But there is a long list. Brandon Staley at the top of that list because he should have gotten fired last year, in my opinion. Cleveland, Kevin Stefanski, when you pay a quarterback $250 million guaranteed, you are expected to win something. A division, a playoff game, something. Ron Rivera is toast in Washington, I think. Josh McDaniels, we'll see. Mike McCarthy, Todd Bowles. Surprised he didn't get canned last year. Dennis Allen. I don't know about Dennis Allen. He's first-year head coach, right? Or second-year head coach?
He's
second-year head coach, Dennis Allen. And Arthur Smith in Atlanta. Bray, who's the name that jumps out to you on there? And give me 3 names that won't be head coaches next year for their respective teams that you see on that list.
Oh, man, go down that list again. Brandon Staley, you're right. Brandon Staley should have been fired. should have been fired. Like he's number one on the list. But I'll go down the list. You ready? Brandon Staley. Next year, Ben Johnson will be the head coach of the Los Angeles Chargers. Kevin Stefanski won't be there next year. Ron Rivera won't be there by the end of this season. Josh McDaniels, well, they're kind of stuck with him right now. Mike McCarthy, the reason why he's controlling the offense right now, because now he can be the fall guy if it doesn't work. He won't be there next year. Todd Bowles won't be there next year. Dennis Allen will be. Arthur Smith is the coach I would put my money on more than any else that will be there for another couple of years. What he's building in Atlanta, I like it. All those coaches might be gone.
3 names for sure, in my opinion, will be gone next year.
Rivera,
Todd Bowles, Ron Rivera, and Brandon Staley.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. With Kevin Stefanski, like, I know it sounds good. It's like, well, you know, they've had this, that, and the third. They've won 1 playoff game. They've had a circus, and a lot of times it's like the owner has them. That's that. What's the word I'm looking for? That's impulsive. If you can give a guy $256 million that has 26 pending cases, then you'll fire a guy like Kevin Stefanski because you'll be like, it's your fault you're not getting it done. That whole list is going to be gone with the exception of Arthur Smith and Mike McCarthy if they get to the NFC Conference Championship.
All right, guys. One more break of the show. Come back and ask you what you're watching tonight, Braylon. How about that? What are you going to watch tonight? Now that there is no NBA, there is no NFL. What are you watching tonight? I want your answer to that. And then you've got to see this video of Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille O'Neal is just a true gem in American history. We will have that for you coming up next. But first, a message from Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. Les Stanford has expanded into Ferndale, a trusted name for over 50 years. When they moved over to, I'm sorry, I've got my reads mixed up. Let me tell you about Les Stanford Chevrolet Buick GMC. They have expanded into Ferndale with the Buick GMC dealership. Same great service that customers have come to know. You can go check them out just down the road from us on Woodward, just south of 9 Mile. Of course, looking for a Chevy or a Cadillac, Les Stanford in Dearborn on Michigan Avenue for over 55 years. You can find the brand you want. All those GM brands under one umbrella. LesStanford.com. LesStanford.com.
Fine. New road.
Find them.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
Big Boy Strawberry Fest has officially arrived, and we're here to show you the very best flavors of the season. Satisfy your sweet tooth with our deep-fried vanilla Oreos, strawberry hot fudge cake, and a slice of our classic strawberry pie. But that's not all. Cool off on a refreshing summer splash salad, or savor the flavors of our chicken Caesar wrap and strawberry bacon chicken wrap. And for breakfast lovers, don't miss out on our strawberry hotcakes or our mouth-watering red velvet waffle. Strawberry Fest is something for everyone. Celebrate the sweet season with us at Big Boy.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
This is video you didn't even know you needed today, but you're going to get it because it is just true Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille O'Neal is probably one of the greatest athletes, I think, in terms of just athlete, personality, type of person he is.
Shaq's probably in the top 10, like people of all time, persona of all time. Like he's in that top 10.
Yeah.
Like Shaq didn't have to be a basketball player
and transcends
and would have been great.
Sports fans. He's everybody's a fan of Shaq.
He's so nice too. The things he does,
right.
So, like you random hear about, like him paying for people's bills or being in a jewelry store and paying for some guy's engagement ring. You know how broke money you are.
Right. So here's Shaq. Here's a video of him at Home Depot.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. We are buying a washer and dryer.
Okay, I'm gonna pay for
I'm
it.
from
Really?
Venezuela.
Oh my
I'm
God,
from Venezuela. No va a comprarle lavadora y la secadora. Oh, no. Ay, my God. Ay, no. Bless you. Thank you. Okay.
Come on, Mama.
It just makes you want to cry.
It's so crazy. I literally didn't see the video, and I said what I was talking about before, and it had to be the same thing. Shaq's one of those dudes, but he's also a smart business dude. Like, he owns Forever 21. He owns a couple Home Depot franchises. He owns, I think, total of about 366 businesses or so. Shaq's heavy, man, and he's funny. He's goofy. He always repurposes himself. Like, one thing in life is you got to keep rebranding yourself, keep repurposing yourself, like, keep changing, keep evolving, keep evolving. And that's what he does. He was fat for a while. He said, you know what? I want to get in shape. Now he's swole again. Shaq always finds a way to repurpose himself.
One of the things, too, about Shaquille O'Neal being a smart businessman, it just goes to show you, too, like, the access you have to people. I remember watching this Magic Johnson. I don't remember what it was, but it was a Magic Johnson documentary. And when he got the HIV,
okay, I remember.
He was talking about.
Was he sitting by the pool?
Yeah, I don't know if he was sitting by the pool or sitting in a chair in the Lakers facility, but he was telling people about when he got the HIV diagnosis and he couldn't play anymore. He still had competitive juices, and he knew he had to do something with the rest of his life. So he had access to all these the brightest business minds in LA.
Yeah.
And so he took advantage of it. He was on the phone, setting up meetings. They were helping him understand business. And ultimately now, Magic Johnson is damn near a billionaire if he's not, based on all those businesses.
And that's why his relationship to the Buss family is as strong it is, because that was Dr. Jerry Buss. Dr. Jerry Buss put him in contact. That was his guy. That was his first pick in the draft, 1979, and he rode with Magic until he unfortunately passed away. Jerry Buss hooked all that up with Magic, and Magic took advantage of. A lot of times guys are put in the right room. Like, I've been to a million meetings that people have set up or whatever, but do you pay attention in those meetings? Do you get the information yourself? Do you say, hey, let me take your number and I'll give you a call, maybe we go to lunch? If you don't take advantage of it, then what good is the person inviting you?
That's right. There's no doubt about that. Braylon Edwards, what are you watching tonight?
I don't know, man. Like, I was heavy on the 30 for 30s yesterday. There's no sports. All my shows are done. You know what? I was talking with Justin in the back. Shout out to Justin again. No need for the earpiece. Just take it out. Sometimes you gotta go back and watch shows that you've already watched. I do that once a year. Is a couple of shows that I watch. Like, I'll do Game of Thrones, but I don't watch the whole thing anymore. I maybe season 3 to like season 6. You know, there's Entourage. Twice a year I'm watching Entourage 1 through 7, and then the movie too. Although the movie was a big letdown. Sopranos once a year.
I think I'm gonna rewatch The Sopranos.
Sopranos. You know what? I might join you.
I think I'm gonna rewatch The Sopranos now that you say it, because I need something to watch for the next 84 days. The Tigers are crap.
Yeah. Sopranos is a good one.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna rewatch The Sopranos. Parker.
So I don't know if you guys have heard of the show called The Bear on Hulu.
With Bryan Cranston?
The Bear?
The Bear. It's it's about the Chicago deli that sells like beef sandwiches. So this guy was like a 5-star chef. His brother dies. So he's having to take over the business for him. The business is called The Beef down in Chicago. And I believe it's a real location too. Great show. I mean, it's basically showing you the chaos of working in a kitchen and that level, bringing back a business. It's amazing. They're coming out with season 2, I think, later this month. Amazing show. Probably my favorite show of the year.
The Bear, what's it on?
The Bear is on Hulu.
That sounds like something I would like.
I don't know if it was that it sounded good or his freaking description got me excited. It did sound good. Ted Lasso is good. If you haven't watched Ted Lasso.
I didn't like Ted Lasso. I'll tell you why. It was too built up for me. Everybody told me it was the funniest show ever. I watched 4 episodes. I didn't laugh one time.
You gotta watch the whole thing. I hate when people do that, but you know what? You went into it not the one to like it.
Yep.
You went into it wanting to be a butthole.
Done.
You know, whatever.
Sorry, Ted.
Did you see Beef on Netflix TV?
No.
I think it's 8 parts or 10. It's on Netflix. It's called Beef.
Where is it?
It starts with road rage. And
I saw that.
You watched all 10 episodes?
No, I didn't watch that, but I saw the trailer.
It's the best show that I've seen, especially in the season 1. It's the best show I've seen in 15 years.
Wow.
It's the best show I've seen in 15 years. It was amazing. The roller coaster, like it just does this from start, and it just keeps going.
Wow.
And even how it ends is like, watch it. As once Beef is good.
All right. Well, very good. JB, Parker, love you guys. None of this is your fault. We are fixing these audio issues quickly. I want to just tell you that. We will get this fixed. We are in the works to get these problems fixed. It is not human error. It is equipment error.
Technical error. It's IT.
So I just wanted to let everybody know it's not the guys here.
Speaking of Shaq, throw this out there before we get out of here. Watch Magic Moment as you're bringing up Shaq and the businessman stuff. But let's talk about the basketball. How big of an idiot do you have to be to let go of Shaquille O'Neal?
Tough.
Like, I know they always want to do the conspiracy theories. Now, there are some times where David Stern stood in and did some things and pushed people certain ways or denied certain things. But that was clearly on the owner of the Orlando Magic. Didn't believe that Shaq was worth $100 million. Put it in the Orlando Sentinel. Is Shaq worth $100 million? Because Shaq wanted 4 for $80, and then Juwan Howard signed 7 for $105. So now Shaq's like, I got to get 100. Said he wasn't worth 100. Went to the Lakers. The rest is history. How dumb do you have to be? That's the worst player. I think that's the worst front office mistake in NBA history.
By the way, just as we close out the show, here's some breaking news from the Arena Football League. Antonio Brown has been kicked out of the Arena League for failing to pay the fee required to pay.
Well, you know what? He won't be the first person that did not pay bills or pay people.
All right, Bray, get us out of here, everybody. Hey, we're going to be at Fairway tomorrow. Don't forget, Fairway Packing tomorrow. Come see us, Mack Avenue, Grosse Pointe Woods.
See you tomorrow.
Oh, that's it.